Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of season 3. We want to thank everybody for, I guess, still listening with this new setup because we are having, we hate it. It's not our favorite for
You were
sure.
choppy again.
Oh my God. So you actually were telling me, we talk every day. So, like, we talk all the time. I actually
Yeah,
feel
I
like we
wonder if
talk,
that's normal.
I
Do you
think,
think it's normal?
I think I don't know, maybe because I'm in another country right now, so like I'm, calling you guys. I don't know.
But we
But
talked every day here.
no, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
You asked
No.
me every day, what are you
Ella
doing today?
no, Ella and I talk every day when I was there. You did not talk to us.
Okay, listen.
Mm, choppy
Listen,
siya.
Linda. Okay, I constantly want to run away from life. And it's hard for me. Like when I see messages and I can't do it. I don't know what it is. Like when I see a message, when I see a call, I get pissed.
From family?
Anyone.
I don't know. I'm not a professional and I can't diagnose that, but that's definitely weird. So, but yeah, so we are.
If you're listening and you are a professional, would you let me know?
Yeah, I actually had a really fun time editing the first episode. I did feel like it was super hyper focused and it was very specific to what we were going through, but whatever. But you were telling me like the past week that you have just been so tired. Like so
Yes.
extremely exhausted. And I wanted to ask you, is that in the professional sense, the social, like a social feeling, like you don't want to see anybody? Is it related because you see so many people professionally also? Like you have to interact with so many people at work and different people, diba?
Yeah. Yeah.
In our industry, you don't see the same people every day. You don't
Yeah.
know who you're going to see when you go to an event.
True.
So, what do you?
I I think it's not in a social sense, which is kind of surprising because before when I was very like when I was the tired you get when you're depressed is like you don't want to see anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm tired like generally like just from how fast life has been for me since this year started. And I think it's really more just like the daily things that I have to think about now that I have my own place. And then also with work, like definitely work is exhausting to me. I am more introverted. So it takes a lot of me to go to an event. And I don't go to an event and I just stand there. Like I go to an event and of course I'm gonna talk to people, I'm gonna interact, I'll get my content, I'm gonna try to learn about whatever it is they're launching. In a social setting, I don't feel like I'm tired because I'm always game to see my friends. Somehow, like this year, I think I've seen a lot of my friends, like my high school friends, my childhood friends, and I'm never like, oh, I don't want to see this person, or I don't want to see this group, or I'd rather stay home. I always feel like, oh, okay, that was like really good for me. I feel like I need to be with people that are not in the work setting. I think
Yeah.
it helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like,
And
I think it's really work and the dailies.
yeah. And what would you consider? Like, does it ever come across that, like, oh, I think I'm burnt out? Because I think that's something that I have said, probably like
You've been saying,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I have said that
yeah,
so much. I think
so many times.
so many times. Probably, it started for me. I think this, I can really pinpoint it. The feeling of wanting to. You mentioned run away. I've never really had that feeling before. Like from me, like I mean,
Really?
from graduation, I've just been like, what can I do? How can I get better? What event can I do? Like I've just dude, honestly, I'm like a horse with like blinds, and I've just been like
No
go,
way.
go,
That's
go,
so
go.
interesting to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah. Since not even, honestly, not even graduation. Like, I want to say in college, because in college, I
Yeah,
wanted to
pre,
audition
yeah.
for, I wanted to audition to be courtside reporter, and I wanted to be a radio DJ. And like, those were things that I was like hyper fixated on. And, so it started, I would say, early in my professional life. And the first time I really felt alarmed, and I was like, what is happening to me? Is this normal?
Yeah.
Was 2023. So matagal. I graduated 2013. So imagine that's like
Yeah.
10 years
10
of just like
years
not even more, because I started working in college.
not listening to your body.
Not even, not, I would not say, I don't think it was body, because I would rest. I would go out with my
Yeah,
friends and I would take trips, diba? Like, I go to the
that's
beach,
true.
we do road trips. I don't think it was a like, oh, I need to, it was just more of like, all of a sudden, I felt so, I felt dread for work. And I
Mm.
never, ever, ever had that feeling, because I love work so much. Like, that was my whole anthem. Like, I love what I do. This is who I
Yeah.
am. Like, blah, 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 blah. So that happened in 2023. And Pat, our manager, I told her, I said, I am going on a trip. I'm going
Yeah.
to visit my sister, and I honestly want to be gone for like a long time. And I'm not going to be posting or working at all. And I know that a lot
Yeah.
of content creators, like, they will incorporate work with their
Into
vacations.
everything.
Yes. And I personally cannot do that. I don't say that I don't believe in it. Like, I get it if it's okay with you. But
Yeah.
when I see it, it's something that I cannot do for myself. Unless absolutely like necessary, or maybe parang it's really easy, you don't really have to think about it. Sige, parang go na yan. So that's the first time I felt, I would say, burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And so how old was I? For 30s. 31.
30. Yeah.
31? No, 32.
Yeah.
32. So would you say this is what you're feeling? Like a feeling of
Burnout.
dread? Yeah.
Hmm.
It's tough, because I feel like it's a heavy word, and I don't use it
Yeah.
loosely, kasi it's not like yung parang, it's like, it's also like depression, diba? Like, you don't want to like throw it
Yeah.
around and say, I'm depressed, or I'm feeling depressed. You
You
really want to,
shouldn't.
yeah, exactly. Because there really are symptoms for that. And so you kind of like analyze yourself. And for me, that's how I felt also. Parang
Yeah.
that first time in 2023, I was almost guilty that I was feeling that way. But
Yeah.
I think I was like, no, I think this is burnout. Because yun nga, I was like, I don't want to see anyone, I don't want to work, I don't want to do anything, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm only
Yeah.
31,
You just kind
32.
of like retract all of a
Mm-mm,
sudden. I
mm-mm.
think for me, I can't honestly say it's a burnout. Um, but I feel like if I don't change things or how I do things, I will get there very soon.
Sure.
Like with the pace I'm going, I actually saw Lexi and Harry like 2 days ago. And Harry
Your
was
best
just like
friend.
my best friends. Sorry, Harry is also my best friend.
Yes. Hi, Harry. Okay.
And he said to me, when I watch your stories, I'm like, wow, Nika's just everywhere.
Yeah,
And
I've
I was
gotten that a
like,
lot.
and I was actually shocked because I was just like, what do you mean I'm everywhere? He's just like, you're just in so many places at once.
Jumper.
And and I was just like, I didn't realize like how fast paced I was. I feel honestly for myself, I'm moving slower than other creators. But then when somebody else tells me, they're like, wow, you're like all over the place, you're doing so much. And like, oh, okay, I guess I am doing a lot. And so I think for me, that was kind of like validation of why I felt tired. A week and a half ago, I was at the gym and I was complaining um, to one of the coaches. I will not say his name.
Why?
I won't say his
He
name.
doesn't want to be mentioned?
I don't want to say his name.
Okay.
His name is Miguel.
Okay.
And he was giving me tough love that
Mm-hmm.
day. You know, like, just gotta get up, Nika. You
Like
just gotta
sometimes
be,
you need it, but that
sometimes,
day,
right? And he's like, you just have to be disciplined. You're just lazy. I just cried.
mm-hmm.
I was so tired. I just cried at the gym. And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to explain how tired I am, but I am exhausted. That I can't seem to decide like small little things anymore. And so I have been really trying to think about like ways I could, I mean, not slow down. It's just more of like ways I can help myself, I guess, be more grounded or be more present or not to feel so rushed. I think that's why I'm so tired. I feel rushed and I actually hate being rushed.
Oh,
I know.
really? God, honestly, you take forever to get ready. Like, I
I
think our
hate.
relationship really, when we started working together, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. She's always late. Oh, she
Look,
can't say anything.
everybody else
I think you're better
is
now.
ahead. Everybody else is ahead. I am simply on time.
No, you're late. And I hate being late. If
I'm not
you,
late.
I'm always rushing. I think that's me. I am always rushing, and she's
I think
always
that's
like,
I
we
think
gotta
that's
take it
my
slow.
way. I think that's my way of like not
Try,
feeling
trying to
trying to
control.
be, yeah, because like I'm already panicking internally. So if I'm like
You're like,
rushing
they're
like
not the boss of me. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm
yeah,
just
so
gonna walk slowly, do my makeup the way I want to do it. And like, I mean, I hate to be those, I don't hate. It's really true that you shouldn't be like, oh, just wait till you get to this season of life. I don't believe in that kasi because,
I don't like
honestly,
that.
yeah, I don't believe in that. Like, we are in different seasons, right?
Yes.
And
What
mas
makes you say that,
mas
Bea?
mas
What
mas
makes you say we're in different seasons, huh?
I want to say mas
Are you
nakakapagod maging
saying
mas nakakapagod
are,
maging nanay.
are you saying you're tired is more tired than my
Yes.
tired?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
comparing?
No. Yeah, I am. Absolutely. 100%. But the thing is,
Valid. Valid.
exactly. No, this is
Super
where
valid.
this is
I'll
where
give you
respect
that.
comes in, diba? Like
Mm.
listening. I'm not trying to write you off.
I can't get myself together.
I'm trying to make a point.
Okay.
I promise I have one.
Okay.
Um when I listen to you, no,
When you listen to me,
when
I
I
sound
yeah, no,
ridiculous.
you don't sound ridiculous. It when you listen to me, it brings me back to a season of my life
Mm.
where that was the peak for me. And I think that is the beauty of life. It shows you that you are capable of greater things and more exhaustion. No, I don't want that sounds a little sad. No, there's new challenges kasi like depending on where you're at. And I think that's it sounds to me, and I was telling you this even like off podcast. What it looks like to me, you're getting overwhelmed with everything new that's happening, and it is in this season of like, maintaining your home and running your career and creating content and being creative and being everywhere all at once and being social. I think the task is to be able to enjoy, because this is what you've wanted for so long. And
Yeah.
I remember so many like talks of ours where you just wanted to honestly be where you are now. Like,
Yeah.
that quote na, your prayers, your answered prayer, you are living your answered prayer, yung ganun.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
are quite
I am
literally.
living in an answered
Yeah.
prayer.
Yes.
Yeah,
And a
I am.
prayer that you had for a very long time. I want to say
Years.
year, not even like college or whatever, like childhood, like you have
Yeah.
always wanted to be a star.
Somebody make me a star
No, no,
already.
no, you no performing, I would say. More pa
Yeah.
than me, 'di ba?
Have
Parang
you
for
seen
me
your home videos?
girl, yeah, but no. For me it was like I want people to take me seriously. I want people to know
Oh,
that like I'm I'm the real deal. I'm a
okay.
smart like sports girl. I don't know. So I guess it was also being like a woman in sports early on. But anyway, so when I hear that, I don't want to say na parang the automatic response is, ano ka ba? Ang tagal-tagal
Yeah.
mong ginusto mo yan. You know what I mean? And that's a
Yeah.
horrible way to approach it, because I do remember, like, I try to think of my, like me trying to like build my career and being so busy and being so tired. And I'm like, it's, it's, it's true. Like it does get any work that you're doing naman gets
Yeah.
so tiring. But I think for me, it was always so important that I really had a grateful heart, because it brings you back to like, this is what I prayed for, and this
Yeah.
is what, like, can I be better with manage.
Yeah.
I think people listening to us have like kind of put two and two together, like we're not the most organized, like there are more efficient ways. Like maybe they're like looking at their lives and they're like, how have they been
Yeah.
surviving, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if they
Functional human
no,
beings.
exactly.
Yeah.
I would say we're organized in the macro sense.
Yes. Yes. And the
But
important
at
things.
the end of the day, it will happen. How?
Yes.
We
How?
don't
We don't
know.
know. Exactly.
But that's how I
But
kind of feel. And even like, no, even like as a mom, I don't want to write you off like, di ba gusto mo maging nanay one day?
yeah, no. Yeah, I
Di ba?
understand.
But
But sorry,
go,
now
no,
that
no.
you mentioned like gratefulness, it's so funny that you mentioned that like now. I literally sat down today after like my little get together. I had a get together with friends, if I didn't mention that earlier. An early birthday celebration, which I've never really
There's so
done.
much I want to get into. Yeah, okay, go.
Yeah, I've never done that before. And so I sat down and been trying to journal again, because again, like things have been so fast for me that I haven't had time to sit in the morning to like read my Bible. Like sometimes I'll just like read like a little verse or I'll write a little bit. But then I've been trying to like carve out time. And the past few days, I have just been writing like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thank you that I'm in this place. Like, thank you that you've brought me here. Thank you. Like, I'm looking back because I'm thankful. I'm not looking back and trying to look at what I could have done or what I should have done. I'm just looking back and seeing how far I've come. I think
Yeah.
that's also one of the reasons why I get really tired is I love to look back and I always nitpick on the things I should have done
Mm-hmm.
or the things I missed out on. And I'm like, oh, like, okay, so how do I catch up to that? Or how do I make up for lost time?
Mm-hmm.
Now I realize why I'm so tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, and I'm honestly, I feel like a lot of people can relate to you, because the problem lies in your own mind. Diba? It's so easy to say na parang, well, just stop thinking about it or just stop doing that. But every day, it's like, these are your thoughts, and this is what I would say attacks you. It is
Yeah.
like, it can be an attack at times, because it's like it can't stop and you don't know how to get it to stop.
Yeah.
I think that's your probably like weakness. Like when it comes to your work, you're never honestly, you're not satisfied. Like,
Yeah.
and I see, no, I get it though, because I was like that. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know how to like rejoice in my victories in the seasons. So I think
Yeah.
you're also tired because you're not processing like all these amazing things that are happening in
Yeah.
your life. You're just like, what's next? Oh my god, like what's the next inquiry? What's the next this?
Yeah.
It's
Or
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I'm like falling behind. Like all of these people, like all of these creators are like moving so fast and they're like here already and they're there and they're here. And I'm like, I don't know how to get there.
But honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's just trust. Like
Yeah.
trusting in God, because like I feel whatever season you're in, whether it's busy, whether it's loud, or whether it's quiet, you have to trust. Like, like you, I would say, are in a like super crazy season, and you have to swim up for air every now and then.
Yeah.
But you have to trust that God's gonna give you like those pockets of rest.
Yeah.
And even if it's not that loud, when it gets quiet, you're also gonna be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really trust, and it's really parang super nakakasawa to hear, but being grateful is such a concept in our lives that, like, I don't know if the pandemic strengthened that, because obviously, like, we were
Yeah.
home all the time and you were like looking like, thank you for the trees today, Lord. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we no. Really, grabe, like there was sunlight this morning, like,
Yeah.
through my window, Lord, salamat. No, and you know
Yeah.
what?
We needed that.
We needed that. We had to scavenge for those little moments, because
Yeah.
before hindi natin sila pinapansin. Like, okay,
Yeah.
like morning sunlight, whatever, who cares, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you need to fight for in the professional sense. Like,
Yeah.
you need to fight for moments where you're just like, wait. Yes, I'm tired, and that's part of it because you are doing a lot. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'm so proud of myself, but also like, this is amazing. This is a super fun time.
Yeah.
As your older sister, it's reminding me of you at the end of 2024, and you didn't want to create your parang year-end reel. And I
Yeah.
think that's such a good practice, even not at the end of the year. Like, it's May. Look back in January, so much has happened. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
ang dami nang nangyari. Like,
I'm
God has
legit gonna
been...
cry right now.
Why?
I'm so tired.
Oh, kumukulo yung tiyan ko. Ako, gutom na ako. No, you are
Like, I'm
tired.
exhausted.
You are exhausted. Yeah. Yes. It's true. At
Do
least
you see
maganda
the
ka. At least
tears?
plakado yung makeup mo. I thank you for going close to the camera so everybody
Did you
can see
see
na
the tears?
umiiyak ka talaga. I think they believe us when we say we're crying. But yeah, I think it's definitely a season where you are feeling like you are doing everything by yourself, and you're just like, I'm tired. Yeah. But again, I'll bring you back to like the days where you would be like sitting in front of me and be like, "Well, what about me? When?" You know what I mean? And it's always perspective. It is always
Yeah.
perspective, and like conversations like this honestly refresh me. Like when you call me out, and like you need to be gently called out, not on your exhaustion, because your exhaustion is legitimate, but the mindset.
Yeah.
Like, how do you approach this? Like, I agree, you do need to like make some changes with like how you, I don't know, run things at home, or like maybe you and Ella can be a little more like organized in the small things that will help like the overall. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's the way you're thinking. And I think it's definitely like there's worry attached to it for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like you're tired but you're worried, and you want to improve yourself, and you want to stop, and you just need to calm down. Like, you
Yeah.
really need to calm down.
I I think I was thinking about like how like you were talking about like quiet times and like the louder moments, right? And I do feel like I am in a
Loud.
obviously louder, faster moment. And I feel like I was in the stillness and the quiet for so long, and having to work through, all of my just all of the things that I had to work through in that time. And I think I was reminded of like how foundational those like quiet times are,
Mm,
and how
they help you.
you would always tell me like before, like, just enjoy this time now, because one day it won't be this quiet anymore. And I think the way I think about it now, I think it's like a test of how I'm gonna handle it, or
Yeah.
how I'm gonna look at this season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it's just like, am I going to bring whatever it is I worked on back then with me,
Mm-hmm.
or is it just gonna like go away, and then I'm just gonna have and I'm gonna like think the way I used to think again and just be worried again and
Yeah.
constantly like comparing myself. You get what I
And
mean?
and I want to add to that, you know how I understand that you're tired, but there are seasons you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
Like this is what it
Yeah.
looks like. Working hard, trying to achieve your goals, trying to make something for yourself, you gotta get tired. There's not a lot of things I can speak on, but being a workaholic, I'm another. I'm honestly like I
Yeah.
can like I'm
Yeah.
a I can speak on this. And
Yes.
so obviously there's sides of that that isn't healthy, but there parang for me the way I look at it is you know how people are like, "Oh, parang congrats, like there's so much going on." I'm like, like or like you've been doing so well. Internally, I'm like, "Yeah, because I've been working so hard. Like I have
Yeah.
been planting the seeds for years. When I tell you
Yeah.
years." And
Yeah.
so I'm in a season where I can travel and I can enjoy and I can because I was working hard. And
Yeah.
so it's all kind of intertwined and it's part of I guess the growth and understanding yourself as a professional in a new industry. For me, I just want to add like the burnout that I felt I think was the shift in becoming a content creator when
Yeah.
before that I was like a host, a broadcaster, I didn't really create content for work. And so sometimes when there are new things which is I would say this is pretty new in your life, you
Yeah.
do get overwhelmed. Like when you have a new boss or when you have a new teammate.
I think the difference, because like before for you, was that you would have to come to work. You know what I mean? Like you would have to go to your hosting, or you would have to go on the radio or go on TV. But like content, it's like
You got to
just
create for yourself.
your life.
Yeah.
And so like when do you stop thinking about
Yeah.
content?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn to shut that off eventually. Yeah, it's gonna. And again, like as you say, you're not even that person that like vlogs. Hindi ka nga nagva-vlog or
I
you
don't
don't
even
share
share so much
everything.
about,
Yeah, but
yeah.
you know what? It's you're still a content creator. You know what I mean? There's different kinds of content creators, and it really depends on what you want to put out and how much you're willing to put out. So I think when it comes to sharing your life, that's really a line that you have to draw. I have a question though.
Okay. Is
I
it a
have
personal question?
I guess I mean this podcast is personal, so um
Hold on, let me drink.
it's pretty similar because it's kind of similar to that trend, which this is so late, but this was probably like 2 months ago. The I met my younger self for coffee.
Oh yeah.
And then I just saw it again on TikTok and I I so wanted to kind of like
Yeah.
come up with something, but I was just too tired. You know what I mean? I was just like, well, what
Yeah.
would I tell her? But it was, I kind of refined it also because we're talking about like work and being a professional and like whatever industry you're in. But what would you tell your fresh grad self? Or what would your fresh grad self think of you now?
Those are
Right?
two different questions.
No, I mean I'm not asking you about the I met my younger self for coffee. This is how I got to this question. You know what
Okay.
I mean? What would she think of you?
What would she think of me?
You graduated like in 2016, almost 10 years.
Yes.
It hits you hard, trust me. That 10-year mark, you're like, what
Ooh.
the? Yeah.
Um, can you go first?
Can I go first? I think I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, that's why I said you
I think
first. Ooh.
I think my fresh grad self would not believe that she's a mom and that she's a good mom.
Dear God.
Because when I tell you, I never imagined myself as a mother. It was really such a distant thought. Like, yeah, okay, one day eventually. One day, yeah, I guess one day, and it was becoming a mom was I guess becoming a mom was so transformative and like somehow also like intertwined with what I do, 'di ba? Parang I didn't know that one day like work would look like sharing your life, 'di ba? And like part of that is what I go through as a mother and stuff like that, like even in the content sense. So I my fresh grad self wanted to be a broadcaster, and she wanted to have her own show. She wanted to have her own sports show, and she wanted to talk about the NBA, and she wanted to talk about the playoffs and her favorite players. And event when I became a mom, like I think I slowly let go of that like dream. Does that make sense? Because it takes so much time.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to the pregame, and then you have to go to the studio, then you have to go to the post game, and I was just like, I can't be away from my baby for this long.
Yeah.
And so the sports aspect of my life really like took a back seat. But and I'm talking about this because this is what I wanted like when I graduated. Like this is who I was going to be. And so I think there is a part of like my goals, quote unquote, that I didn't not necessarily didn't achieve because I was in sports. I did anchor shows, but I stepped away from, if that makes sense. And I just feel like I feel like she would be so amazed like how how God set her up to
Yeah.
still be creative and still be able to share and still be able to express herself in a new format.
Yeah.
Because for me, the whole thing was TV. TV, TV,
Mm-hmm.
TV, being in front of the camera. And so I think she wouldn't believe that she was a mom already. I think she'd be proud.
No, this is gonna be tough. Um, you started with your fresh grad, I guess, being surprised that you're a mom.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be
Yeah.
a young mom. I'm not sad, huh?
Yeah. It's just a lot to
It's
say.
it's a lot to say. Um,
Wait, 25,
so
diba?
like 26, like 27 was like, oh my gosh, Gil, you're like so old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And um, I honestly think she would be very, not to say that she wouldn't be proud of where I'm at right now, but she would be like, wow, like I didn't know that this was where the Lord was gonna lead me.
Yeah.
Because I had this, I guess when I graduated, my mindset was really just to escape because I wasn't in a good place, right? And for me, I was just like, to escape means I'm not gonna dream. I'm just gonna do the bare minimum and work whatever job I can so I don't have to figure it out. And then once I get married, I'll just take care of my kids.
Which
And
was a
that will
dream for
be,
you.
which was a, I mean, kids are a big dream, like a
Yes.
family, and,
Yeah. But
it's a
like
big dream
career
for me.
wise.
But career, parang because I was so confused for so long on how I wanted, I guess, like performing to be expressed in my life, I was like, I can't do it. I can't think. I can't figure it out. I don't want to dream. And so
Ako naman,
I
dream ng
think,
dream.
yeah, well, good for you, girl.
Aw,
Um,
Nix.
yeah, and I think she would just be, I think she would be a little confused as to how I started like wanting to dream again despite not being in the place she thought she would be at this age.
Well, I guess to tie it all together, you telling me this is kind of like God showing you that like it's such a tender thing because he is showing you that like there was a dream that you put away. And I think he's slowly showing you that like he's more than capable of making that happen. And you know what I mean? And I think it's
Yeah,
also a challenge to be grateful, but also to allow yourself to dream and
yeah,
want like this season. Like
yeah,
it's not gonna get like this is not the peak, girl. Like I want to talk to the girlies in their they're like mid or like I don't know, early 20s, like late 20s. This is not your peak.
Yeah.
I am not in my peak. Like
Yeah.
I don't think we ever reach our peaks. Like it just is seasons where you need to recognize. I think it's really seasonal, diba? And like there's busy
I need
seasons.
to
Yeah.
I need to wipe my
Your uhog.
Okay. You
No,
can continue.
it's not about reaching the top because there will be different tops where depending on where you're at. What I accomplished before I got married was definitely the peak for Bea in 2019, diba?
Yeah.
And so like I'm proud of that. And then and then I gave birth to Tyler and I'm so proud of that. And obviously like that's like a very like peak moment. But then there were so many amazing work things that I did also like after becoming a mom. And so those were like obviously it's not up there with like my wedding day and like my
Yeah.
I mean duh, like that goes without saying, but I'm talking about in the work sense. There's just always new things. And so I just want all of us to remember that there's going to be like a peak rich season wherever you're at. And
Yeah.
sometimes it looks like a slower day or a slower season.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like a really, really crazy season. Sometimes you're in the in between. And I sound so put together right now, but trust me, I'm not. Like
Yeah, she's not.
3 days ago, I was like full on spiral. But I think
Yeah.
it's because I've gone through this in the, in the work sense. And I
Yeah.
hear you and I'm like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you're doing great, Neeks.
Thanks.
You are. You are. You're doing so great. But thank you guys so much. Our next episode, we're going to process Nika's thoughts on turning 30. Char. No, I'm kidding. We'll do that a little bit.
We will,
But
sure.
we will for
Yeah.
sure.
That's so weird.
I know. Iiyak
That's
ka ulit.
That's weird.
It's okay. Big hugs, everyone. Big
Big
hugs.
hugs.
Yeah, we
You
didn't
go out
cry.
there.
We didn't cry last episode, and I was
I
like, oh,
know.
and I was just like, you know what? It's only a matter of time. It's only I wasn't expecting this.
Hey, this is real emotions because I am not going to get my period.
For sure,
I
same.
am.
I'm not.
This
I'm not.
is
Yeah, I'm
this
not.
is
Her.
all me. There's just
Yeah.
it's not like an imbalance of hormones.
Yeah, an
This is
imbalance.
pure
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah, it's all real, baby.
It's all us.
But if you're feeling tired, or I mean, I guess if you relate to Nika and you're feeling tired, I don't know, like
Pray for me.
yeah. No, I think I just want to encourage everybody, like get a good night's sleep.
Yes. Take magnesium.
Yeah, I was gonna say that take magnesium para like knock out talaga, like good rest, good sleep.
Magnesium glycinate,
Yeah,
guys.
magnesium, not citrate kasi iba yung
Yes, that's for your chan.
we are super not what do you call this?
We're not health practitioners.
No, and they're pharmacists. Okay, so please.
Yeah.
But we
It's
do
for
take
muscle recovery.
Yeah. Okay.
Deeper sleep.
On deeper sleep. On that note, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
That was really tough. I'm just gonna cry a little bit extra now because I was stopping it
Why?
because I'm so tired. If you want to put this on, do that. That's fine.